Now, 2012 was a very successful year for Thaicom. What's it like looking forward, and how was 2012 successful?
Well, 2012 is actually set up as the good foundation for us moving forward to 2013. We had a very good year. We actually, at least, make the profit. The first quarter of 2013 is actually a proven that we actually really turn around. We actually have 7 consecutive quarters of profit. Our profit grew, year to year about 3 times, and also our share price actually grow very high comparing to the market. So I think it is actually the very good performance and a good strong foundation for us moving forward. So it's actually set up us for a very solid stage moving up.
What's the performance down to, though? Is it down to the staff, or is it down to the product, or is it a combination of both?
Well, it's a combination of everything, basically. We have done a lot of transformations and a lot of change within the organization. We actually have set up the organization differently. In the past, we focused more on product. Now we also have the teams focus on function itself. For example, the engineers, sales, marketing people, they can focus on across the platform. This not only give them an opportunity to leverage the skill within the company, but they also can address the customer requirement as well, because sometimes the customer, they need a cross kind of integrated solution, integrated product. So when we set up the organization that way, it helps. Also, we shape our business strategy a bit. Right now, we actually focus more on become an open platform to allow the other ground equipment to be able to access to our satellite as well. But we will be very selective on who we will partner with. You probably can see, quite a few partnership agreements that we announced in the public. We also work on the end-to-end kind of solutions. So we not only focus on the bandwidth of the satellite. We believe that we can provide a value added to the customer if we provide the end-to-end kind of solution to the customer. So that is also another thing that we move and shape ourselves toward. The other thing is also the market segmentation. We are now very focused, and we select to serve 3 areas: enterprise, telecom, government, and also retail. For retail, we pretty much do it through our selected partner in each of the countries. But for the enterprise, the mobile operators, the telecom operators, and also the government, we do it ourselves. So the team would be more focused. The solution that we have would be very focused on that segment. So with that kind of clear directions and focus, the teams know and put the effort toward the same goal.
Now you've got 2 new satellites you're looking forward to next year, Thaicom 6 and Thaicom 7.
Thaicom 6 will be this year, though.
It will be this year?
Yes.
What are they going to offer, and what advantages is that going to give the company?
Right. Thaicom 6 is the coverage for Thaicom 6. We're going to cover all Asia Pacific down to Australia, and also covering Africa as well. And it's going to be a conventional broadcast satellite. We will focus on that kind of application and solutions. And we have some of the footprint, as I mentioned, toward Africa as well. We call the payload in Africa as AFRICOM 1. So if you hear about AFRICOM 1, it's basically a payload on Africa on our Thaicom 6. And it's actually come in an opportune time, because our Thaicom 5 right now is fully utilized. We have a lot of customers booked up. The application and solution that we focus on Thaicom 5 is pretty much on broadcast, DTH, direct-to-home kind of platform. Thaicom 6 will also replicate and give a complement kind of capacities on top of that. At this point in time, we can pre-sold the bandwidth on Thaicom 6 about 60% already, which,
it's very good.
Yeah. I think it's pretty unique, though, and that's because of the requirement that we see in the market that we choose to serve. So that is pretty much Thaicom 6. Thaicom 7 would be a smaller satellite. It's going to be on 120 east orbital slot,
Right.
and it's covering also Asia, South Asia, and also Australia, New Zealand.
Right.
Because this is actually a new position, so we need to build the neighborhood, the channel neighborhood for broadcast for future, for longer term. But for short term, what we do now that we're doing a lot of pre-sale, we focus on the telecom kind of applications and solutions.
Right. You're talking about the markets, Australia and so on. One of the markets that interests everybody is China.
Oh, yes.
Incredibly difficult market to get into because of the regulations, and it's not really that open. But you're making some progress.
Yes.
How have you managed to do that?
Well, we do it through partner. Our strategy also, we try not to do things on our own. We will select the right partner, strategic partner. In China, we partner with Sinatone and also China Telecom Satellite, and they're actually very strong in different area that we have. Say, for example, we have the space segment, the applications and experience to provide a high throughput satellite on the ground. Sinatone is actually the VSAT operators. They actually have developed their own applications, and I think it is actually quite interesting. They're called SatCom on the Move. You probably heard about this mobility kind of services. They're actually very keen, and they already have existing customer. So their solution is very well fit with our solution as well on the space area. So we combine the strength together, whereby CTS, China Telecom Satellite, they actually own the relationship in the country. They actually are part of China Telecom, so of course our main customers is also China Telecom, and they can also help us penetrate into the local market. So with all these three combined, I think that is probably be the key recipe for us to break through into China.
Do you ever see China really opening up, or is it still going to be difficult?
Yes, I think so, because regulatory, as you know, and also you need to know who you work with. You need to build trust to ensure that the people, the customer trusts you, and that is actually what we work toward, that kind of a relationship right now. Yes.
What about the rest of Asia? What are the trends you're seeing? Are there any particular focus areas that you're looking at?
I would say that there are a lot of opportunities of growth in Asia Pacific, which is actually our home base. We're trying to position ourselves as a leading Asian satellite operators in Asia Pacific and also other regions. Let's talk about Asia Pacific a little bit here. I see a lot of tremendous growth coming from the usage of data, and we actually have quite a unique satellite called IP Star. As you know, it is our spot beam high throughput satellite who can provide that kind of solution to address the demand that coming up from the market. That's first. And we also see quite a lot of opportunities that we can work with a big telecom operator that they're trying to extend their coverage throughout the geographic that they cover. So we have replicated the success that we have in some of the countries, for example, Japan, that we work with the mobile operator. Firstly, we work with SoftBank Mobile. They use our solution to extend their 3G coverage over the cellular backhaul kind of solutions. And after that, then KDDI, NTT Docomo also sign up with us as well. So Japan, pretty much a success story, but we're trying to replicate that outside of Japan. Now we have some customer in Malaysia, in India, also in China with China Telecom. To use us on the CDMA backhaul. So that is actually the area that we believe there's still an ample opportunity for us to still move on. Indonesia, Philippines, also another two countries that we believe a big potential that we still need to break through. At this point in time, we still have low penetration in that area. India, some people might feel that it's very difficult because of the regulatory bar is actually very high. Luckily that we have that solved in the past few years. So right now we work with Antrix, we work with BSNL. We see a growth of demand coming from India as well, from the high throughput kind of and data kind of usage. So that is actually on the broadband side, I still see an ample opportunity in Asia Pacific. For broadcast side, in Asia, particularly in Indochina, like my home country, Thailand, There's a lot of demand coming from the new technology like high definition, 3D. You probably heard about 4K coming, and all these kind of application require higher bandwidth. In Thailand, we have a lot of satellite TVs channel. Thaicom 5 hosts about 460 channels on our satellite, but only less than 10% are high definition. If you imagine that 1/3 of the customer or broadcaster want to change to high definition, they would require more, and that's why we can pre-sell the Thaicom 6 even before it launched. So I see that this new the requirement would come. Talk outside of Asia a bit. We also see an opportunity in Africa, but we will be very selective on where we go. There's quite a lot of supply out there. There's a lot of players, big players over there, focusing probably South Africa. Before we get into the country, we do a lot of study, and we see that there's some particular countries that still have demand and not much of a focus from the other players. So we will be very focused on what we do in Africa. We pick a few countries, a few segments, as I said, clear segmentation, and also a few solutions. And we will bring in the success and the experience we have outside of Africa in Asia to bring over to Africa. So that is actually, see an opportunity coming in.